Here's this week's starter for 10. You've got 10 minutes. Pause the screen now. So here are our answers for the starter for 10. 14 times 10 to the minus 3. Hopefully you remembered that 10 to the minus 3 is 1 over 10 cubed, and we can write that as 1 over 1,000. So the question is asking us 14 times 1 over 1,000, which is the same as saying 14 divided by 1,000, or times by 0.001. Either way is fine, whichever you prefer, but the answer would be 0.014. So you would get 2 marks for that question, 1 mark for converting this into the right multiplier, and then 1 mark for your answer. Here we want to get to m equals. This is making m the subject. So we need to rearrange our equation. First of all, I'm going to sort out this plus 2 on the end by minusing 2 from this side. If I minus 2 from this side, I must minus 2 from this side to keep my equation balanced. So my next line of workings would be n minus 2 equals 6m. Now I just want 1m, so I need to balance this bit here by dividing by 6. I must do that to this side, so we get 1m, and this divided by 6 is n minus 2 all over 6. For this question you would get 2 marks, so you can have a mark for getting to here and a mark for getting to here. Question 3 asks you to draw a 50-degree angle and bisect it. So hopefully you got your protractor out and you drew yourself a nice, accurate 50-degree angle. Now to bisect this angle means cutting the angle exactly in half. And to do this, you need your compass. So we should open our compass up at a length. It doesn't matter how long that is, but once you have your length, it cannot move. We put the point on the vertex of our angle here, and we make an arc, and we do the same at this side here. So that's our first bit. Then, without moving our compass, we put our point on the arc we've made and make another arc here and another arc there. Finally, using our ruler, you should have joined up from the vertex of our angle through the new arc that you made to bisect that angle. And to check, get your compass back out, and each of these angles here should be 25 degrees. And then finally for question 4, Zara has bought a car. The car was worth, to begin with, when she purchased it, £12,000, but it depreciates, so it goes down in value by 5% each year for 6 years. Now we know to decrease by a percentage, we have to work out how much that item is worth after the decrease. So a 5% decrease means it's worth 95%. So our multiplier would be 0.95. And we need to do this for 6 years. Now we could do 12,000 times 0.95 times 0.95 times 0.95 6 times, or if you remember, we could just take the number of years and put this as the index. So to put into our calculator, 12,000 times 0.95 to the power of 6 should give you 8,821 pounds. So marks wise there, you would get a mark for getting the right multiplier, a mark for putting this 6 as the index, and then a mark for your final answer. In today's lesson, we will be consolidating our work from yesterday on the circumference of a circle. We will then move on to how to calculate the area of a circle. Have a go at 4 questions from this slide. You could choose any 4. You might want to do all of one colour or do a few from each. Pause the screen and the answers will come up next so you can check how you got on. Mark your work in green pen. If there's anything you're not sure about, pause the video and drop me a message so I can help you. Here is the formula for calculating the area of a circle. A equals pi r squared. This means area equals pi times the radius squared. This is an important formula, so you may want to make a note of it in your notebook. Let's practice applying this to some questions now. See if you can apply that formula to find the area of this circle. Let's use our formula, A equals pi r squared, to find the area of this circle. You've been given r, the radius, in the question already. So all we need to do is substitute 9 into where r is. So we're looking for the area and we do pi times 9 squared. So our area is 81 pi centimetres squared, and if we stick that into our calculator we can work out how much that is. So the area is 254.5 centimetres squared. Now have a go at this question. Here we're using our same formula, area equals pi r squared, but we need to do something before we can substitute into that formula, because here we haven't been given the radius, we've been given the diameter. But we know that the radius is half the diameter. So we just need to half this to give us that radius there of 5 centimetres. So we know that r equals 5. Now we have that, it's just a simple substitution in again. The area is pi times 5 squared, which is 25 pi, and if we stick that into our calculator, the area will be 78.5 centimetres squared. Now have a go at these questions. Again, they start off easier on the red star and get harder on the green. Work your way through them. The answers are on the next bit of the video, so you can always flick forward and check your work before you move on to the next one. Don't forget to show your workings in your book, mark your answers in green, and send me a copy when you're done so I can see it. How would you find the area and circumference of this shape? Pause the video and have a think. I'll talk you through it in a second. To find the area, we can work out the area of the entire circle, one that has radius of 10 centimetres, by using our formula area equals pi r squared. As you can see, the shape that we have is only 3/4 of a circle. So to find the area of this shape, we would take 3/4 of the whole circle. To find the circumference of this shape, we find 3/4 of the circumference of what this whole circle would be. But that isn't all. Remember, we now have the right angle in the middle exposed, so we need to add on 2 lots of the radius, which is also part of the perimeter of this shape. Have a look through the slide carefully and see if you can follow the workings. Pause the video and see if you can apply a similar method to what I've just shown you to these questions here. You are trying to find out the unshaded area of each shape. Hopefully you got on okay with those questions. That's it for today's lesson. Any questions you have for me, send me a message on Show My Homework or via email, and you'll be applying this knowledge you've learnt today to questions about flags on Friday.